Hello everybody. Happy Tuesday. Here we are getting near the end of January. Excited to always come and connect with you guys. We had some great topics and discussions over the last couple of weeks. And we just went through a new moon. So I wanted to touch in and just feel into what are the energies going on now? What kind of energies have been coming through in the last few days in my sessions? There's always a consistent pattern, it seems, when there's things going on with lots of sessions, and the information that's coming through has sort of a theme to it. So picking out, if you notice, I'm back to having my dragons around me on the walls for my lives. Got my my Christmas garland down. Always makes me sad. But as I sat, because I have a wall here full of dragons, I've taken the cards from the deck. So here's the one in my hand. Taken the cards from the deck and printed the canvases that are always available through the site. But because I have like 25 around me in this space where I do my lives, I like to sit and feel, whether I'm going into a session, going into a class, doing one of these lives, which dragons are present, which energetics want to be in the field on screen with us, and why is that? What is the energy that they're putting forth, and why are they present? So I thought it very interesting, the two that were sort of jumping at me, because I don't think the Pearl has ever asked specifically to be, like, called to be in the field. I think I've had it once or twice up, but just because I was loving it that day. And looking around, it was definitely calling, and the Moon Dragon was calling, and it reminded me, actually, that we just did have that new moon. And so we're moving into some freshness, some new energies, and I'm reflecting on that. Can say that starting yesterday with my sessions yesterday and this morning, that the energy does feel new, like we're stepping into a new plateau of expansion, that there's more new energies coming in. They have to do with our DNA reconstruction, going back to our original divine blueprint, being able to expand the light that's within our core and activate more and more of that. So I find it interesting because the field of the Moon Dragon is, and I'll just read off the card here for you, embrace, yielding, and grace. So that's this energy of allowing softness, allowing things to just come in your field, to embrace them, to accept them with grace, to be yielding to it. Just sort of a softness to it. You can even feel in the energy of the image. It's just about sort of a breath where you're just, okay. And maybe it's that in-breath where you breathe in and you just sit. And so that's one of the really present energies. I love that she wanted to come in today and share that because it really fits with what I've been feeling. And then the Pearl being really connected to enlightenment, history, and soul wisdom. And that also fits with the DNA structures that have been so present with the sessions I've been doing this week. That the energy's coming in. We're now at a new phase where there's more levels of activation going on, and this piece of allowing the dismemberment or the dispairing, the depairing of certain genetic structures that were part of the original manipulation to get us into this lower 3D framework. A lot of our gifts were taken away, and they were taken away not just by splitting them and straining them all over in our field where you have all these dormant DNA inactive laying there waiting to be activated. And what does that mean? That means when your light codes come in to activate those, they start vibrating, and they will literally raise up and then start vibrating at a specific frequency, which then calls their match to them. That's literally how, whether you're talking about like DNA structure, you're talking about your own full physical structure, you're talking about higher level, it's all micro macro of the same principles, and allowing that electromagnetic force is what keeps building within you and drawing to you things that match it. So you notice that as you go along on your journey, you have more and more manifestation capacity. You have more and more alignment of the things and the people that are coming into your life that are really fitting with your template, fitting with what you are desiring to do and move towards and create. that things sort of start drawing together because of that field. It's electromagnetics. So in the manipulation, going back to the DNA, there was not only this aspect of breaking them apart, but then actually taking specific mismatched pairs and putting them together. That's a new realization that I've come across, and the effect that has in our field. So as we move into this piece, the history, the soul wisdom, the Akashic piece that the energy of the pearl, the dragon's pearl, holds in sequence with this embrace, the grace, the yielding, the dropping in to receive and allow those energies to come in. This is about getting those realignments within our crystalline deep DNA pattern, because we are moving towards having our full blueprint, our original blueprint, which is your light body self. That's your original design. We're moving towards the fullness of that and merging with that. And so we start to get realigned into our true pairings, all of our DNA activated, all of it functioning. And that starts to bring in our gifts, our abilities, our ability to stay and maintain that light quotient, that light vibration. So it's pretty exciting, and just encouraging you, pay attention. Where are you at this week with the energy? What are you feeling with that? When I talk about the moon dragon, has the moon been drawing you? Have you been feeling called to stare at the moon more this as it starts up? We had the new moon, so it was dark. That deep darkness takes me into a dream state that's very, very profound. I notice it. I go deeper. There's not a lot of ambient light. There's no ambient moonlight. And so it's a deeper space that I tend to drop into in that cycle, in that space. So what has been coming for you, and what, as this new moon wanes or waxes and comes into its crescent, what does that energy show and hold for you? Have you been being drawn to look at it? Because I know often I'm really, really drawn always to look at the full moon in the days surrounding it, waiting for that full moon cycle. And we don't necessarily always watch the waxing crescents or the waning crescents or the new moon because it's a dark sky, right? But what have you been called to go look at the stars without the influence of the moon? Have you been called to go out and just stare into the sky, stare into space, and breathe? Because that's part of that energy. Are you stopping to breathe and just receive? And as you receive, are you able to let all that inherent knowing, that wisdom that's held within the soul, connect in? That's what your dragon pearl is. I've mentioned this a few times, but I'll repeat it again because we have a lot of new people here. The pearl is your Akashic records. The dragon is always carrying its pearl because you carry it with you wherever you go. It's a symbolism of having the capacity to hold all knowledge and wisdom that you are and that you be with you at any given time. And the pearl is often hidden somewhere in the field of the dragon. Sometimes they carry it out here. I think in the representation artistically that we've seen and felt, oftentimes it's depicted that way. And it's meant to show you that ability of the dragon to carry all that inherent knowledge and wisdom with it. So, what else about the energies today? I feel like it might be fun to draw another card. So those of you I pulled them just to have the energies fresh, to match the canvases, the dragons that wanted to be in. But let's go ahead and pull a card today for everybody that's going to be listening to this, both currently, I see some of you on there, hello, and that are going to catch the replay, because we have a large part of our group that is on very different time zones around the world. This is a global group. I love that. But that means we have some people in Australia that are still asleep. We have Europe that's heading into their evening and maybe they can't make it on. And then we've got all the Americans that North Americans that are possibly at work or busy doing stuff in midday, so they can't always catch live, but they are catching the replays. So everybody that's going to be part of this group sphere, catching this on the replay, I'm just going to hold and draw a specific card message for us, knowing that these, the pearl and the moon dragon, are holding the background of this sphere. They're holding the space right now for us to breathe in, to yield, to receive, and to connect with that ancient wisdom, connect those DNA pairings that are ready to be connected. So, feeling we're in the deck, it wants to split. and going way down here near to the back. Interesting. Oh, interesting. The Mercury dragon. I don't know if he's come up on a live before. Our beautiful masculine energy, the divine masculine, the Mercury dragon. This is one of the Syrian dragons. This is the divine masculine, humility, and support structure. So that energy coming in to be a support, I love that, because we're just talking about the feminine, the moon, the yielding, the grace, all right, just take a time to breathe in. And what the dragon, the Mercury dragon's coming to show you, when you do that and you drop into your internal knowing, your framework, to tap into your wisdom and go internal and have that yield, have that state of grace, you're going to be supported. The divine masculine is stepping up. So the Mercury dragon from Sirius, he's going to step up and hold that space for you. That whatever is going on for you, the structure of support is going to be there to allow you to drop in, to allow you maybe to take some needed time down. Maybe really take that in-breath as a few days off, as maybe a deep afternoon nap or a long meditation space today or in this week where, all right, I'm going to trust that everything that's structurally around me that needs to be taken care of will be taken care of. And this is basically that saying, look, I got your back. I've got you. I'm going to hold the structure. You can actually call the Mercury dragon in directly if you need to. The information is in the Dragon Within on that section for the Syrian dragon. And just holding even that element of Mercury present within your field, the energy of Mercury, and inviting that in to hold that space for you as you drop in. I love that he showed up to say, yeah, you know what? This is where we're at in the journey on the planet. The feminine is coming into her own. She's been rising into prominence, back into her status for the last few years. She's really coming online, which means the divine masculine now can let go. The old pattern of the masculine, the patriarch, can be dropped and let go, and that divine masculine can come in and just hold the framework and match and meet her. It's the same energy that I was just talking about those DNA pairings being able to actually realign to the correct matched pair and no longer be in the manipulated mismatch. That's allowed to be severed and coming into place. So the mismatch was that patriarchal masculine with the divine feminine that's been rising. Definitely doesn't fit, but we're finally in an alignment where she's got enough strength to break that pairing. There's enough support, and that allows the divine masculine to come in and go, I got you. Take the space you need. Dive into the history. Dive into the Akash. Dive into the reconnection point. And I got you. This is my job. This is what I'm supposed to do for you. That's beautiful. I love that. That alignment is perfection for me in feeling these three together. I'm going to put him up here between the two and just hold that energy in the field for us. So just a nice short message for us from the dragons today. Aligning to the energies, allowing yourself to take that pause, take that breath in, and allow the realignments to take place. All right. I'm actually realigning some things for my sessions. I'm going to change some of the time slots, maybe add a couple. I know some of you are frustrated often that I don't have any spots for up to 3 weeks out. There's been a big demand for the discovery calls, so watch for new openings. And if you've been wanting to take advantage either of some session work together, get you past, typically the full 75-minute sessions that I do are meant to get the ball rolling for you, to really move you past what is maybe been holding you back, to get that breakthrough, because the activation in the field is what sort of pushes you into your next level of growth. So if that's been what's been calling you, the booking calendars under the Book Now button on the homepage of the site, dragonwithin.com. Yes, my kitty keeps popping in, Arthur. He's my dragon kitty. I never know that he's in this room, and halfway through either a session or live, he'll just sort of sneak out here because he loves the energy of it and wants to be present with all the dragon energy that's sitting right around the sphere as I'm talking. Hopefully it's not distracting for some. He's part of the field. He's got to be present. He's a dragon. So what I was saying, though, about the calendar, those 20-minute free discovery calls are great opportunities, and they're also on that Book Now button to connect and see like what would work do for me, or I haven't been exposed to dragons, where should I start? I'm brand new to the process. I've got the book, but what do I do next? Those kind of questions. It's not a reading, but it's an opportunity to see if we're even a good match energetically, if that draws you and you want more session work down the road, or you want to be part of a program. You don't like programs, you want to be led to something online. So they're really fun, and it's a great way. I enjoy them, and the discussions that happen in them shock me sometimes, and how much can be shared in a short 20-25 minute call. So take advantage of those, and of course on there's the layer tab. We've got all the canvases. We've got these incredible pendants. I don't have any AndaRa ones right now, but I know there's I believe it's a moonstone still present that is just, wow, it's funny that one popped in. Of all the ones that are left on the site right now, the visual of the moonstone one just popped in, and I'm realizing we've got the energy of the moon dragon there. And I think there's one moonstone one left, and that maybe that would be supportive to you right now. Maybe that's the one that's been calling you, because they do hold an energy pattern. I've got several, and I'm always drawn to which ones need to be supporting my fields. And everything that I send out, whether I'm in a session or it's something that you buy, an oracle deck, one of the decks, a book, a pendant, a plushie, when I send that out, it goes out with an actual transmission of energy into it for your supported activation in your field, that the energies that need to be around you from the dragons through that medium, through that material element, would be in your field and be able to release to you in the use of it, in the enjoyment of it, in it being in your space. That's a specific thing that I do on each package that goes out. That's just my gift to everybody that is trying to find one of those tools, or knows one of them is calling them. So have a beautiful week. We'll see you guys. Let's see. We're going to be, oh my goodness, we're going to be almost in February. We're going to be the very last day of January next week. So, wow. Can we say we're already diving into 2023 and we're just about a month down? That's crazy. Have a beautiful week. We'll close out the month of January together, and we'll see you then. Bye for now, everybody.